Today we're going to take point slope form one step further. Yesterday you had to be able to write that equation if you were given the slope or a graph and the 2 points, and you need to be able to come up with the equation. So we're going to start off with our first step one, and our step one is going to be to calculate that slope, the change in y over the change in x. And so the easiest way for me to do this, I think, is to create an xy table. So when I create that xy table, my first ordered pair is -1, negative pair is 2, 4. So when I look at my change in y, from -2 to +4 is going up 6. So I'm going to put a slope of 6 over. And then over here from -1 to +2, that's a change and an increase of 3. So that's 6 over 3, which is equal to 2 over 1, or 2. Our second step then is going to be picking one of the points, and either one is going to work, and substitute it into the formula. Because, if you recall, our formula is y minus y1 equal to m, or our slope, times x minus x1, 4-point slope form. Because of those minus signs, and I don't want to deal with chunky pluses, I'm going to choose to use 0.24. Either one will work. That's what I am choosing. I typically like to stay with the one that is mostly positive. So then if I put that into my formula, we got y minus y1, and y1 is going to be that 4, is equal to our slope of 2 times the quantity x minus x1, and x1 is our 2. So if you remember that this is point slope form. Now you'll notice there's a step 3. And the reason why there's a step 3 is because we're then going to take it one step further and we're going to solve for y. A lot of you are probably wondering, well, why do we have to solve for y? We are doing that because we want to see the connection between point slope and slope-intercept form. So solving for y will give you that slope-intercept form in the end. So when I do that, I'm going to start off by bombing out that 2. So when I do that, I get y minus 4 is equal to 2 times x, which is 2x, minus 2 times 2, which is 4. So now when I do this, now I can go ahead and add 4 to both sides, which cancels out here, and ironically, it cancels out here, leaving me with y equal to 2x, which is that slope-intercept form. So on your quiz and on your homework, I'm going to be looking for both this as well as this. Let's try a couple more examples to help us out with getting, let's go back here. We got to help us out here by making it a little easier with a little less to look at. So the first thing we're going to do is work on that xy table to get our slope, or our change in y over change in x. And we've got 4, 3, and -2, 0. When I look at my change in y, that goes down 3, so I know that it's -3 over. And from 4 to -2, that is down 6. So I have -3 over -6, which a negative divided by a negative is positive, which gives you a slope of 1/2. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose my point, which I'm going to use 4, 3, because they're both positive. So we have y minus y1, which is 3, is equal to our slope, which is 1/2, times x minus x1, which is 4. So there's my first answer that I need. And then I can go ahead and bomb out the 1/2, which gives me y minus 3 is equal to 1/2 x minus, and half of 4 is 2. So now I can go ahead and add 3 to both sides, which gives me y on the left equals 1/2 x, and -2 plus 3 is positive 1. So this would be the other solution that I'm looking for. And if you're ever curious if you did it correctly, just take your ordered pair and go ahead and put it into either of your equations for x and y, and see if you get true statements where one side equals the other. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next example. Go ahead and complete this one and hit pause while you do it and then come back and check. All right, when I make my XY table here, I get 2, -5, 6, -4. I see the change in Y is actually going up 1 because I'm becoming less negative. And here is +4. So my slope is going to be 1/4. When I put this into the equation, and because they both have a negative, it really doesn't matter, I'm going to choose this one. We have y minus y1, which is minus a -4. So that means that we're going to chunky plus this out. And equals our slope of 1/4 times x minus x1, which is 6. So y plus 4 equals 1/4 times x minus 6. Then we're going to go ahead and bomb out that 1/4, which gives me y plus 4 equals 1/4 x minus, and 6 times 1/4 is 6/4, or 3/2. I'm going to leave it as 3/2 for right now. Then I can go ahead and subtract 4, which results in me having y equal to 1/4 x, and -3/2 is really -1.5, and then this would be adding the opposite, so this is -5 1/2.